good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us on NTV At One. I'm Smriti Vidyarthi. We start our coverage in Parliament, where we expect the National Assembly to tackle the two-thirds gender bill this afternoon and make a decision on whether to provide more nomination slots for women representatives or not. Let's have a look at an ongoing press conference. NTV's Kennedy Muredi joins us live now. Kennedy, what can you tell us?
Well, the latest coming from Parliament right now is that we do expect that this afternoon the bill on two-thirds will be introduced and it will be going on debate. And also there is the other one on the public service bill, which is also supposed to go on debate today. But right now what is more important is that the members of Parliament have just come from Akamkunji, which is an informal meeting where the Speaker gets to engage the members of Parliament on what really they do feel and what they really do want with regards to their welfare. And I have heard one of the most important things that has come out of that meeting is the fact that they do want an all-inclusive and enhanced medical cover that will even be covering not one, not two, but some of the wives that they do have. But right now what is more important is that there has been a press conference that has been ongoing, and it was being headed by Kimilili Member of Parliament Didmas Baraza, and he is thinking that this deal or this bill on two-thirds gender bill is overrated and it should not actually see the light of day. And one of the arguments that he is advancing is the fact that it is time for party leaders to reward their girlfriends. And you're joining me now. Why do you say so? Why do you think that party leaders are going to nominate their girlfriends? Are those who are in Parliament right now nominees or girlfriends of party leaders?
If you look at the women members of Parliament today as we are speaking, those who have been elected by the people, they are doing 100 times better than those who are nominated. So I am not opposed to women occupying leadership positions in this country, but what I'm saying that let the women of this country, let the Wanjikus of this country decide on whom they are going to pick that will represent them as a member of Parliament or as a senator. So I am not against the bill in itself. But I am against this bill because the bill doesn't lay down the procedure to be followed in identifying these women. We have women who have worked very hard in this country, who have formed NGOs, who have been giving back to the society, who have been assisting the girl child on everyday basis. But when it comes to nominations, meritocracy is thrown out of the window, and you find some people in the name of slave queens finding their way into the National Assembly. So what I'm just saying is that if you leave this matter of deciding who is going to represent the women of this country into the hands of political parties, then you are denying a chance a Kenyan woman to decide on who she wants to represent.
But instead of throwing out the bill in its entirety, why don't you also propose that as an amendment, because it is going to come to that position whereby members of Parliament are going to be given an opportunity to probably propose amendments. Then you will say that political parties are not the ones to do it. Let us give it to somebody else probably to choose who is going to come to Parliament out of the 22 slots.
I have already proposed amendments today in the morning. And what I'm just saying is a warning signal that if the formula is not going to change, then we are not going to support this bill. Even the same women are also saying that they told every day to look for votes, and therefore it's not good for just another woman seated somewhere there who has no role in the community. Even whom the Kenyan women don't even know her will find their way into the National Assembly through the back door, through the party leader, and they are saying that the procedure of identifying these women must change and must be in a transparent manner.
Smriti, I want to change gears, and before I let him go, is that another contentious matter that has come out of the Kamkunji that they had, and some of them have even briefed us, is the fact that they have endorsed the change of a service provider with regards to their medical bills and medical cards. And we want to get it from you, Mheshimiwa. There is an agitation from members of Parliament to cover their extended families, and they want an enhanced medical cover. And it is one of the things that President Uhuru Kenyatta even yesterday was trying to say, that members of Parliament should be even considerate to the needs of Kenyans. Why do members of Parliament want to expand this medical cover to even cover not one, not two, but up to 4 wives?
That is completely not true. What we have discussed today in the morning is that we are not getting the proper service from the current provider. The current provider is very slow. You go to seek for medical services in a hospital, they will keep you waiting for 15 minutes, for 20 minutes, making calls here and there. And we have just said that as a clan, we need a better person, we need better services. So, but we have not said that we've not thrown out the current service provider on the basis of not willing to cover our extended families. I mean, those issues are contained in the SRC and they are not subject for discussion today. Today we are only discussing about unsatisfactory services that we are getting from the current service provider, and we decided to give the Parliamentary Service Commission an opportunity to re-advertise so that we can look at other service providers comparatively.
So that matter did not come up. People were not of the opinion that we should include more than one wives.
Absolutely, in this. That didn't come up. And if it's an issue, we have a subcommittee that handles them, not within the plenary.
What about the other matter on whether you should be given free cars, free houses at the expense of the taxpayer?
Let me tell you, I want to tell Kenyans, the mortgage that I get as a member of parliament and the car loan that I get as a member of parliament, I pay it in 5 years. So how is it for free? This is a loan. Other civil servants will get mortgage, they are paying it for 20 years, but members of parliament get 20 million as a mortgage, but we are paying this money in 5 years.
So, but you've added it on top of mortgage. You're going to get mortgage and you also want a free house and a free car at the expense of the taxpayer.
That is not true, and that's not what we have discussed today in the morning. What we discussed today in the morning is just our welfare in terms of medical cover, and we said we are not getting proper service from the current service provider, and we were giving the Parliamentary Service Commission a go-ahead to go and look for a better service provider comparatively. But in terms of the cars, I think this is a creation of the media. The car we have with their car loans, which we are repaying, and the car grant which we get is the same as other civil servants.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. And Smriti, as Mheshimiwa says, that is not part of the discussion, but we have been given information that some of them inside there were trying to make sure that the fact that they have more than one wives, one wife, it should be catered for in the medical cover, and probably that is one of the other reasons they might be looking for a different service provider. But as Mheshimiwa has said, is that he is going to rally other members of parliament to make sure that the 2/3 gender bill is going to fall, or is going to fail on the floor of the House if it does not come up with a clear criteria on how these 22 slots in the National Assembly and 2 slots in the Senate are going to be divided and given to other members, to women who are going to come into the House. As of now, Smriti, that is what we've been able to gather, but we'll be giving you information in our subsequent bulletins on what we've been able to gather from Parliament. Back to you, Smriti, in studio.
Kennedy Muredi coming to us live from Parliament. Thanks very much indeed. No doubt it will be interesting to see how that plays out this afternoon. And as Kennedy said, more in our subsequent bulletins. All right, let's take you back to KCPE now and to the county of Uasin Gishu, where there's been a celebratory mood amongst parents, guardians and pupils who did exceptionally well in this year's KCPE exam. Nancy Wangoi Kamau is being celebrated as the best performing pupil after she scored 441 marks. Lois Wangoi with more.
The sleepy Kamukonji slum at the outskirts of Eldoret today came alive after they produced the best pupil in the 2018 KCPE in the county of Uasin Gishu. Nancy Wangoi from Faith Junior Academy scored 441 marks out of a possible 500, becoming the county's best.
I thank God for the amazing gift of these marks through the help of my parents and teachers.
Private schools in the region have performed better than public schools. Greenville Academy, Potter's House Academy, Our Lady of Assumption, Eldoret Premier School and Little Lambs are among private schools that produced top pupils. Glenn Ochieng Kipchumba, who's 13, scored 436 marks to emerge the best at Greenville School, and he desires to join Moi High School, Kabarak.
I got the results. I was at home. We are watching the news. At first, I was shocked to find out that I had those marks.
Michelle Cheporoit Maiwa from the arid West Pokot County scored 432 marks to emerge the best at Our Lady of Assumption, and she desires to join Alliance Girls High School.
I was at home when the marks were released, and I felt very proud of my marks. I study at Our Lady of Assumption Academy, Eldoret, and I reside in Uasin Gishu County. My hometown is in West Pokot County.
Hills School, a public school, also produced some top-performing students in Uasin Gishu County. Their top pupil, Samantha Nalemba, scored 432 marks. Hills School managed 22 pupils with over 400 marks.
Our best girl has come out with the 432, and this is not. This is a very big achievement, basing or putting in fact that it has been very tough with so many challenges, but we worked as a staff, we worked as administrative staff with support from parents, BOM, Board of Management, and everybody. Therefore, we are celebrating these results because it is really our results.
More and more celebrations was witnessed at Eldo Baraka Primary School. Their best score was 425 marks. Lois Wangoi, NTV Eldoret.
Well, immediately after the KCPE results were announced by the Education Cabinet Secretary, Amina Mohammed, the 2018 candidates alongside their teachers streamed to their respective schools to receive the results and celebrate. Rose Wangoi brings us the highlights of the celebrations from across the country.
The celebrations that broke out in various schools countrywide as the 2018 candidates, their parents and teachers received their results. In Kipsongo slums in Kitale, 13-year-old Fabian Simiyu from Shanti Chalke Primary School posted impressive marks. Fabian scored 415 marks in this year's KCPE exams. Dozens of people braved a heavy downpour to celebrate their victory before converging at the Madworld School. Fabian, a second-born in the family of 5, said hard work and determination enabled him to excel in the examination.
Mimi ningependa kuwa engineer nikiwa mkubwa.
Pupils, parents, teachers of Kadingiri Primary School in Imenti South, Meru County, went round the school singing and dancing in jubilation. Girls carried the day with the best student, Deborah Gaki, garnering 442 marks. Deborah also emerged the top candidate in the county. In the far-flung West Pokot County, jubilation and joy rent the air at Townview Academy after the school produced top-performing pupils in the county. Melvin Cherop of St. Mary's Assumption Primary School scored 419 marks and emerged the best girl in the county. She was followed closely by Maya Ajek Akwok, who had 408 marks. In Baringo County, pupils, parents and teachers of St. Joseph Kituro Primary School broke into song and dance as the school celebrated top achievers. Victor Kemboi scored 423 marks to emerge the top student in his class. Victor attributed his success to hard work and discipline. Song and dance also broke out at Kimalel village after it emerged that Dolphin Kiprop, who scored 421 marks, was among the top candidates. Naivasha Sub-County continued to dominate in the national exams after producing some of the best KCPE candidates in Nakuru County. Rising High Peak Junior Academy produced the top student Ivy Wanjohi, who scored an impressive 443 marks. She hopes to join Kenya High School and later on become a surgeon. In Thika, 14-year-old Emmanuel Jenga emerged the best candidate, bagging 445 marks. Parents, teachers and students streamed in for celebrations. He attributed the good results to teamwork and cooperation from his parents and teachers. Grace Mwende Kamau was ranked position 2 with 407 marks. Mwende wants to join Alliance Girls High School and later pursue medicine. Private schools in Kisii performed well in the 2018 Kenya Certificate of Primary Education. Dorothy Hadassa from Genesis Primary School in Kisii Town emerged the top student and garnered 442 marks. At Nyabuno Academy in Suneka, Barbara Nyaboke and Beverly Barongo, who are twins, had mixed feelings about the results. Barbara, who got 428 marks, could not believe that she had beaten her twin sister Beverly, who got 399 marks.
All right, away from KCPE now and to other stories making headlines. 2 employees who worked for quack medic James Ndichu Mugo have been released on a cash bail of 200,000 shillings or a bond of 500,000 shillings each. The 2 are charged with several counts of operating a clinic illegally. Now, 22-year-old Victor Kamunya and 19-year-old Rispa Omar denied 5 charges that were preferred against them, including operating a clinic and a business at an illegal clinic while not being registered, operating a medical laboratory without registration and license, practicing as unregistered and an unlicensed medical practitioner, and practicing nursing and using the doctor title without qualification. The presiding magistrate, Martha Mutuku, had ordered the detention of the 2 for 7 days before the pre-bail report that determined their release. Now, only 36% of Wajir's residents use a toilet or have access to toilets, with 49,000 children under 5 years diagnosed with diarrhea-related diseases in 2017. Well, efforts to make Wajir town open defecation-free have failed, and now the government has changed focus to rural areas in the county to realize the national target of an open defecation-free country by 2020.
This is Kajaja, some 40 kilometers northeast of Wajir town. The population here largely defecate outside in the open rather than into a toilet. Kajaja is among the many centers where public health officers have adopted behavior change approach to slowly introduce use of toilets. So far, 17 households out of 280 started to use toilets.
We were able to have open defecation-free sites in 23 villages within Wajir County, more so Qorof Harar Ward, Sita Wario, Kahira, Riba, and Qorof Harar.
Wakati mimi napata hiyo toilet, haki ya Mungu ndio mimi naona muhimu yake kwanza, kwa sababu mbeleni mimi matoto yangu na bibi yangu yote ilikuwa naenda mustoni. Mustoni naye anatawala na wale wa mustoni ambaye anakuja na maji, gamia, gombea. Ni wengine ambaye natoka bandi ya Bula wanaenda mustoni, ndio ilikuwa nakutana hapo. Ikiingia miti hii kuna mtu ndani na unatoka na tafuta miti nyingine kuna mtu.
The issue of privacy and protection of women also factor.
To some extent, yeah, because when a lady goes out into the bush looking for where to hide so that she can attend to the call of nature, I think that aspect of security is very important.
The issue of use of toilets in Wajir continues to present a challenge, with the government forced to experiment with various strategies to see what will work, and at times, such as is the case now, to change tact midway. Nurdin Alamoge, NTV, Wajir County.
The Riyadh Mosque and Islamic Center is seeking a partnership with various stakeholders to implement its strategic plan. In a meeting with different stakeholders to commemorate its achievement of being gazetted as a national monument, the National Police Service has agreed to partner with the mosque in fulfilling its strategic plan. Riyadh Mosque is the longest continuously functioning and one of the most influential Islamic teaching institutions in the Swahili world. It's also a cultural heritage center and known for hosting the century-long annual Maulid and cultural festival that draws visitors from all parts of the world. It was built in 1892.
We are willing to partner with the leadership of Riyadh Mosque. We will be there to work with in fulfillment of your mandate. And in this regard, because in whatever we do, and this is what we firmly believe ourselves in the National Police Service, that security is a fundamental foundation.
What we're seeking today actually here, as a result of this meeting, is partnership. Partnership in guidance, partnership in supporting whatever activity that you deem fit, that you deem you are capable to come and join hands with us as good partners. And this is how Riyadh has grown over these 130 years.
On the international scene, multiple people, including a police officer, were shot near a Chicago hospital on Monday afternoon. Time for the sports news. Sean Cardavillis has the latest.
Thank you very much, Smriti. A very good afternoon to you. Now let's start off with football. The Kenya under-23 national football team arrived back from Mauritius after qualifying for the second round of the Olympics qualifier. The emerging stars edged out Mauritius 3-1 in the second leg, 4 days after brushing aside the island nation 5-0 at the Kasarani Stadium to book a date with either Sudan or the Seychelles in the second round in March of 2019. The winner on aggregate in the third round will grace the 2019 Africa Under-23 Cup of Nations in Egypt, which will also act as a qualifier to the 2020 Summer Olympics in Japan.
You have always to prepare for the next one. 8 goals, it's good. We looked more motivated for the first challenge, but now we go to the second challenge. So completely new environment with a new opponent. So we have to put everything aside.
Former Gor Mahia head coach Dylan Kerr has joined the South Africa Premier Soccer League side Black Leopards. Kerr parted ways with Gor Mahia after submitting his official letter of resignation. Prior to this, there had been speculation that he would not return to the club, choosing to stay back in England after their SportPesa Cup tour. The man who led Gor Mahia back to the group stages of the Continental Championships was at the helm of Kogalo for 1.5 seasons, winning both league titles. He joins the Leopards side, who lie 14th in the 16-team PSL log and have only won twice this season after 11 rounds of matches. Meanwhile, the record Kenya Premier League champions Gor Mahia continued with their preparations for the new season with a narrow 1-0 win over relegated Wazito, and that was in a friendly match at the Camp Toyoyo grounds this morning. Boniface Omondi struck the only goal of the match from the spot in the first half as Kogalo continued their preparations for their CAF Champions League first round preliminary against Malawi side Nyasa Bullets. Now, under interim coach Zico Otieno, Kogalo's second-string side was given a run in the first half, led by goalkeeper Frederick Odiambo, while club captain Harun Shakava led the second-half squad. Gor will next play a friendly match against newly promoted Kenya Premier League side KCB, and that is tomorrow in Nakuru.